Tell us.
The iconic Full Throttle Saloon has been reduced to embers. The fire beginning during the early morning hours. The main building is no longer standing, and the flames have spread to other parts of the venue as well. Good morning, Anya. Now, people come from all over the world to see the Buffalo Roundup, and this is the 50th annual Buffalo Roundup. And I was talking with Craig Pugsley this morning, and he says that this should be the biggest crowd that they've seen yet. Now, if you kind of look behind me, you can see people lined up. There's people coming from all directions, and we passed hundreds of people on our way in this morning. Beginning at 4 a.m., they were already lined up to go. You know, Deadwood always has something going on, and this weekend is the 25th annual Deadwood Jam. Now, that's a pretty long streak, so I'm here with Mel this morning, and she has, as you can see, this very interesting quilt.
You can only hunt. We're live, aren't we?
We are live. We are live. He lost his train of thought.
I did lose my train of thought.
Well, how about this? Now, all of that was like hearing Spanish to me because I'm not a huntress. So if I want to learn what you're talking about, how can I learn about hunting? Good Monday morning, or should I say happy first day of school. All across the city, kids are going to be packing their lunches and swinging their backpacks over their shoulders and heading off to their first day of school. But on your morning commute, you have to remember to slow down and watch for kids as they're crossing the streets. And this morning I am talking with Officer Dave Mercer, who's going to give us traffic tips for both parents and students. The VA hospital is known for providing quality health care for America's veterans, but it also deserves recognition for a recreational program that's making huge strides in mental care as well. At 11 months old, Kylie has fought more for survival than some do in a lifetime. Well, this winter we have seen some warmer temperatures, but the Main Street Square Ice Rink has remained open despite the warmer conditions. In just a half hour, candles will be twinkling behind me to honor the life of a boy taken too soon. The community is coming together to remember the life of baby Bentley Barr. A candlelight vigil is scheduled for 6 this evening here at Main Street Square. A blizzard in May comes as no surprise to those native to the Black Hills, but after Winter Storm Atlas, residents have been more mindful about preparation. I'm live here in Deadwood, where the second annual Forks, Corks, and Kegs event is officially underway. Now, this is a city-wide event where winos and foodies alike can join together to have a small slice of paradise. While some of us are enjoying our New Year's kisses and ringing in 2015, there are a few who are relaxing, knowing that they pulled off yet another successful New Year's celebration. We are live here on scene of a fire on New York Street, where the Rapid City Fire Department has responded to this fire around 7 o'clock p.m. They are still unsure what has caused the fire, but they are trying to get it under control. For months, we have been following the whole campaign of the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center expansion, and today the votes are finally in. Tomorrow, this empty space behind me will be filled with protesters chanting for change. Cancer patients are constantly poked and prodded, but one program has taken it upon themselves to ease their pain and soothe their spirit. The Caring Hands program began at Rapid City Regional Hospital in 2013, and the goal of the program is to make patients and their caregivers as comfortable as possible. High school girls can come to the dress drive looking like this and leave looking better than Cinderella. South Dakota now has a choice to make. They can continue placing juveniles in expensive state-funded facilities or look at alternative programs to keep youth close at home and connected with their community. Every day our veterans struggle with a multitude of mental issues, but the VA hospital is making sure that once a week they can forget about their troubles and hit the reset button.
The program nearly saved my life.
For one veteran, the golf program rescued him from a very dark time in his life.
I was going through a lot of issues personally and within my life, and this has been the best experience I could have asked for. It's the beautiful setting and the fact that it's helping me realize that, you know, I can do a lot of things sober and continue to see the world around me without seeing it through foggy glasses.
Once a week, veterans from the VA hospital hit the course for a round of golf as part of their recreational therapy.
We look forward to it. We're usually in class or something, different treatments. We all look forward to the quietness because we're living with probably 100 people in the treatment center. So besides the calmness, the serenity, and the bond of playing each division of the military, it works out.
For some people, a golf game is just that, a game. But for these veterans, it is so much more.
The camaraderie of the fellow veterans, the beautiful campus, and of course the instructors. It's been life-saving for me.
Serenity. On the golf course, everything's calm. All the veterans I'm with have different reasons they're here, and when we all come together and come here, we're just as one.
You know, that veteran bond, and just let them say, you know, and feel what they want to say and feel.
Each veteran spoke about the bond shared between one another, one only they can understand. And with a bond that strong, there are many memories to be shared.
My favorite memory is almost driving the green on the par 3 in Rapid City.
I don't have a memory, I just have the laughter and the camaraderie. And it's just everybody making fun of themselves, everybody else, and always laughing about it. You know, there's never been any confrontations in here. Everybody's a brother, and I couldn't name all my fond memories. It's just been one great memory so far.
And the veterans are healing, one swing at a time.
Good morning, Anya. Now, people come from all over the world to see the Buffalo Roundup, and this is the 50th annual Buffalo Roundup. And I was talking with Craig Pugsley this morning, and he says that this should be the biggest crowd that they've seen yet. Now, if you kind of look behind me, you can see people lined up. There's people coming from all directions, and we passed hundreds of people on our way in this morning. Beginning at 4 a.m., they were already lined up to go. Now, this is my first Buffalo Roundup, and a couple days ago I was lucky enough to take a tour and get up close and personal with the buffalo and learn what the Buffalo Roundup is all about. Take a look.
Custer State Park is rounding up the herd for the 50th year in a row.
And, you know, the 50th anniversary, it just kind of puts a little feather in the cap and makes it just that much more exciting to be a part of it.
The roundup gives Custer State Park the opportunity to vaccinate the calves and sort the buffalo for sale. But in the past 50 years, the way the park manages the herd has changed.
We've changed the way we manage things a lot over the years, especially lately, in that there's less of an emphasis on production from the herd because there's less of an emphasis on revenue generation. We've allowed the herd to go back to a normal social order. We don't force wean calves anymore. We've allowed that mother-daughter, granddaughter bond and family groups to reassemble on the range.
In fact, the bison are back to a natural state with family groups rather than forced groups like a lot of herds across the country.
Oh, it's great. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for bison, and they're a really awesome animal, and you know, the ability and the privilege to work with them and actually to be able to make bison become more like bison should be has been a lot of fun.
And the roundup is a memory for a lifetime.
You know, it's an exciting and you know, an exhilarating event to be participate in. You know, it's a scene out of the Old West to see the buffalo coming across the prairie. The dust will fly for sure. Kind of a spiritual thing. You'll kind of feel the ground shake spiritually, and a lot of cowboys and cowgirls whipping their whips and cracking their whips. It's just a great sight.
The sun is just beginning to rise here at Custer State Park, and it should shape up to be a beautiful morning to see the buffalo stomp through. We have all the coverage for you, so stay tuned. We'll be back after this short break.
A home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play.
Governor Dugard has introduced the Juvenile Justice Public Safety Improvement Act, which is meant to expand on community-based interventions for those who have committed less serious crimes.
You don't want kids locked up. You don't want kids out of place, out of state.
According to the most recent national statistics, South Dakota has the second highest juvenile commitment rate in the country. Now, the system is getting a major upgrade.
We're going to look at the system as a whole. We're going to look at when a juvenile first comes into the system to opportunities for diversion, to probation, lengths of time of probation, to how long a juvenile could be on probation, to the extent of what it takes to go to the Department of Corrections.
South Dakota now has a choice to make. They can continue placing juveniles in expensive state-funded facilities or look at alternative programs to keep youth close at home and connected with their community.
They look at right time, right place, but I think right time, right place for kids who are first offenders or kids who misdemeanors or things that aren't as serious, we have to look at education and prevention. Education and prevention are key. If you can get kids in alternative programs such as diversion programs, I think that we can keep kids out of probation, keep kids out of Department of Corrections, and keep kids out of being incarcerated in juvenile centers across the state.
The legislation has been designed to improve outcomes for youth in the justice system while cutting costs, and has been modeled from the success of earlier reforms to the adult correction system.
I anticipate seeing a lot of the similar things out of the adult side as far as what probation is required to do. We are required to become trained and certified in effective practices in community supervision, also called EPICS. We're currently going through the training to do that right now. And really what that does is it dovetails on the community providers to ensure that we're teaching, coaching, or modeling the same type of behavior or the practices that our resource providers are providing in the treatment programs that we send kids to.
State has seen an increase in the adult reform program since it began in 2013.